What's up, DubNation? Rich with Let's Go Warriors here with a video essay on Jonathan Kuminga, free JK. But before we head into that, I do want to talk about some overarching issues, which is you'll see in this re-edit of my video essay straight during the watch party of the Warriors Pelicans game the other night when we talked about JK. It's really all about the turnovers, isn't it? I want to thank our loyal follower, Bruce Morrow, for bringing that up. Well, we both brought it up, and he managed to look up some stats. And I do think that when Jonathan plays for a team like Atlanta, the pressure not to turn the ball over is much less. And in fact, the impact of turning the ball over is much less. It just comes down to style of play. All season long, we've learned that the Warriors, Steph and Draymond in particular, as honestly called out by Steve Kerr on the podium multiple occasions, it all came down to the turnovers that really are the responsibility of Steph and Draymond when fully healthy, and Jimmy. Now, Jimmy usually doesn't turn the ball over, but when he does, and he has been in the locker room on record saying that he can't turn the ball over, the reason why is because the Warriors are older and it's harder to run back on defense when you throw the ball to the other team and they go for a fast break, right? Those things are honestly should be quite obvious to the average Warriors fan by now. But what's maybe not obvious is that when the environment is different and it's a team full of younger players and athletes, just flip the script. We had so much trouble against teams like Portland and Orlando early on. What if the Warriors were Portland, or what if they were Orlando? I could see Jonathan Kuminga fitting a whole lot better in that type of environment. Of course, now that environment does not include Steph Curry in it. And the fact that there's also Draymond has something to do with that due to the age, and Jimmy. So I think just really comes down to it was the turnovers and maybe a little bit of rebounding, although just through 2 games, Jonathan is already rebounding at a clip that would be his career high with Atlanta. Just a more free-flowing style out there, more mistakes for youngsters to do and all of that. And so I think that's really just the takeaway from all of this. But also the bigger takeaway is that if you love the game of basketball, you can't possibly want Jonathan to fail. You can't possibly dismiss these last 2 games by Jonathan. Oh, they're playing the Wizards and they're a lottery team. Let's celebrate Jonathan. That's what basketball is supposed to do. It's supposed to bring people together, not separate them. And by that, I mean just you and Jonathan. You should try to bring Jonathan closer to your life, not push him away, right? So it all comes back down to love of the game, love of basketball, love for Jonathan. And so that's all I have to say that I didn't already say. Now I'm going to quickly go into our Discord server right now because that's where I think it all starts. If you're a consumer of basketball, I just think that this is the perfect place to really dive into the swamp that is NBA and Warriors content consumption. Okay, our Discord is separated into a VIP section, which are these 4 feeds, and the ability to comment up here in the VIP commentary section. And then down here is every free text channel, and everything's divided up nice and organized on nearly every topic you can think of. Today, and I'm talking right now on Thursday, February 26th, we had some news come in, even on a non-game day, non-practice day. If I scroll down and catch up on the news from today, you'll see that I posted this after midnight, the honest recap of the last game we played. But then also here is some interesting news. Gary posted a Braveheart Freedom comment for Jonathan on his Instagram. So I thought that was kind of neat. Now you're going to see a lot of outrage out there on the comments. You're going to see a lot of fans not understanding why Gary would say something like that. But if you love the game and you love JK and you love Gary and you love our squad, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, from the Steve Kerr side, or the other side of the coin, if you will, just stay tuned to the rest of the video essay I have in this video. You can skip to it if you like. Also today, we add behind the scenes with Steph Curry and Bob McKillop. Now, this is straight from Instagram, but one really cool thing about Discord is you don't need an Instagram account to see some of these videos. So it's embedded right into Discord. Here you go.
First half. Okay, so I'm gonna walk too many. Oh, you think coaching you is easy? Oh, my fault. Oh, yeah. I look over.
Went through that a little bit for you there. Really fun to see Steph and Coach McKillop, but this is an advertisement from Google Cloud. So enjoy that. And then there was a little snippet of QP talking about his Netherlands teammate, Malavi Leons. And here's another behind the scenes little reel of Steph signing autographs at the Santa Monica Pier during All-Star Weekend. Another angle of this video that we did, by the way, that has Steph as well as Porzingis in it. And we have Malachi Leons with some nice praise from his agent, Drew Kelso. Really cool caption that he had there. So go check that out. And that's also aggregated on our Discord server. Kyle Anderson, this is literally a couple hours ago, agreed to a contract buyout, former Warrior, looking to re-sign with Minnesota. So you get different types of things on our Discord server, even on non-game days. One last thing is when you go to the NBA live feed in our VIP section, boy, there's a lot of videos and reporting from various arenas and whatnot. And there was a very nice dunk from Jonathan Kuminga tonight. So Jonathan, thank you for being a Warrior for nearly 5 years, 4.5. It was a pleasure rooting for you. Wish we could have rooted for you more, but hey, things happen. Relationships don't always work out. That happens in life too. And sometimes you can just choose to be friends afterwards, and there's no need to dissect all of the little details. Just say, hey, look, we're going to go our separate ways, and there's nothing wrong with that, and nobody's at fault. It just didn't work out. And so if we can do that in real life, why can't we do that in basketball? I couldn't find it, so I'm going to do a search. You see how fast we can do these things? Search on Kuminga in the VIP section, and it's right here. So then you can click on that one, get out of the search. Here it is. This looks a lot better on your mobile.
Denied.
Right there.
Here comes Kuminga.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the video essay.
Here's the thing. Back in the day of the draft 2021, if you saw what JK is doing tonight in ATL on draft night 2021, don't you think the whiners on Twitter would have picked JK? So I think the draft is hard. And is this hard? Too many turnovers. Pat Spencer, Guy Santos. He can't be a main guy and have that many turnovers. Oh, Bruce says Kuminga had 6 turnovers 3 times as a Warrior. Let me check one thing, Bruce. Guy Santos, 1, 2, 3 games of 4 turnovers. Oh, 4 games of 4 turnovers for Guy. 3 games of 5 turnovers. Yeah, 4 turnovers. 3 games of 5 turnovers. And Guy now has, I believe, 1 game of, I could have sworn he had 5 the other night, but I guess not. Check that one more time. We're looking at BK Ref, by the way. That was 2025, 2026. Santos hasn't had a 5 turnover game yet. Yeah. Oh, man, look at this. He had 4 oh, man. Gee, dude. Okay, let's look at last 5 games. Okay, it's beyond the last 5 games. Thankfully. Still, last 10 games, he's got a 4 turnover game in each of the last 3 weeks. Oh, it's only averaging 2. 18 turnovers in 10 games. But now it's 24 turnovers in 11 games. What is that? 24 divided by 11. That's not that bad. 2. Yeah. Let it be known, Guy Santos actually only averaging 1.8 turnovers per game in last 10 games. Tonight, 6. Horrific amount tonight. But he had 15 and 12, which is what you need in that role. That's the thing, is JK will never do the 15 and 12. JK will do the 30 and 5. So that's what you've got to have your crystal ball in the draft. So JK would never notch 15 and 12, right? But he has the potential of like 30 and 5. So hopefully the Warriors will improve their draft prognostications, although Steph's era is coming to an end. So I don't know. I don't know what you do. It's hard. If you miss on these, it's hard to come back from. So many turnovers, man. I don't even know how I'm going to do this recap without complaining, honestly. Stat News, March 13th, 2024. 6 turnovers. March. So that was the 23-24 season. That's why I didn't see that, because 2 times with 6. Yeah, that's just something he didn't cure, huh? All right, Bruce. Bruce wins the argument. JK had 2 more times of 6 turnovers in 2023-24. That means he's had 3 times of 6. 3 times career 6 turnovers. So maybe he did have a leash. Didn't improve that, really. Turnover issue was still an issue. The guy people can't move on from. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because certain people on Twitter that people love on Twitter for some strange reason, they just continue to throw Joe under the bus, and not Mike, weirdly. I know Mike Dunleavy didn't make the picks, but he could have traded him. I think the thesis of Jonathan, this is the last time I'm going to talk about Jonathan, is there's no pressure to get the ball to Steph. Go ahead and shoot with the hand in your face and you're in rhythm, okay? Like, it's hard to play with Steph. If you're a baller out there, if you've ever played basketball at any level, if you've ever been a bucket getter at any level of basketball, and suddenly you've got to play with Steph, your days of bucket getting are over. Go ask Devin Booker. Go ask Brandon Ingram. I mean, Jason Tatum. I mean, Brandon Ingram in the Steve Kerr system. Still need to move the ball. You know, like, I'm 7 feet. I'm Brandon Ingram. I can score from the elbow anytime, and you want me to move the ball. It's hard. It's okay. It's basketball. This happens every Wednesday in a gym across America. It's not that big of a deal. But what is a big deal is that this whole time, when the paradigm is to get the ball away from you to that guy, and granted, Guy knows, Guy will get the ball back. And, you know, I'm just here to contribute and just focus on the one thing, just like Draymond said. He was on the podium. He said that Guy, one thing that he loves about Guy is that when Draymond needed to find minutes, he went in and he just went and did one thing great, which is defend. Just defend. Don't worry about anything else. Do one thing great. That'll carve your niche into the team. That's what Guy did on all those deflections and rebounds and everything. But JK is not built that way. And that's not a criticism of JK. That's, again, saying that it's okay to have different approaches to the game of basketball. Everybody should love the game in their own way. Please, let's lay off of Steve, lay off of JK. If anything, if you're going to blame somebody, the one that doesn't ever get any blame, that should get blame, but I don't even call it blame. It's a factor. The fact of the matter is you have the greatest shooter of all time on the floor with you. Don't just think that's that easy. If you play basketball and you are a bucket getter, there's no way, if you are young and you haven't gotten to the maturity level of like, okay, I'm getting past my prime now. When I was young, I didn't want to play with the best team. I wanted to beat the best team. I didn't want to play with another guy that was a bucket getter. I wanted to get the buckets. It's okay to be the capitalistic, selfish young guy. That's perfectly okay. And by the way, this is not the first time I'm saying this, especially on these live streams. This is about the, let's be real. 11th time I've said this. If you have any experience being a bucket getter, and then you're supposed to get on this floor and pass the ball always to Steph and then cut and move everything because of Steph. Now, granted, Steph isn't shooting every ball. He's doing the right thing as well. He'll shoot it every now and then. He'll take a hero ball shot every now and then, but he makes those. And overall, this is probably what you want to do. If you want to win games, design the system to make sure Steph gets the ball. No problem with that. And what I'm saying that nobody else has said online is that this is perfectly okay. It's okay to have the mentality of JK. It's okay to have the mentality of Steph. It's okay to have the mentality of Steve. It's okay to have the mentality of Mike Dunleavy or Joe Lacob, because when you're in the workout, you have this kid that just came over from the Democratic Republic of Congo, has played in America since age 13 only, He is jumping out of the gym and he's getting buckets in an environment where it's a workout environment. And this is just how you do drafts. You don't do a draft workout scrimmaging with Steph. You don't get to do that. It's just, maybe they should, but that would be really, really different thinking. Like, well, let's go get Steph in here. I don't know. Maybe they emulate Steph somehow these days. Maybe they've evolved to do that. But back in the day, 2021, I have no problem with the pick of Jonathan at 7. Nobody else is going to say that. Instead of interviewing all these people on Twitter, why don't you go interview all these ballers inside of gyms? I can give you the name of many gyms that I used. Willie Keys, Oakland. Bushrod, Ira Jenkins, aka Brookfield. Go there. Rainbow Gym, Tassafaronga, all of those gyms. I literally rented those gyms to run my basketball leagues. I've been in all of those gyms. Go to anybody in those gyms and ask them about Jonathan Kuminga. They won't have a problem with this. Talk about the game, talk it out loud, have an extended conversation, not just 200 character comments back and forth. That does nothing. That does not evolve the knowledge of basketball. That doesn't do anything. I've tried that. Go look at my threads. Let's Go Warriors on threads. I'm trying to have a conversation with the dude about the salary cap. I can't continue that conversation because it's just 200 characters at a time. I can't read your face. I can't use the intuitive side of my brain to tell if you really care or that you just want to win an argument. And so I think if people would come to YouTube live streams like I have, this sort of more open forum, we're going to do more and more of this. So it's around the corner. So that's my diatribe once again on the limitations of social media commenting and your own growth of the game of basketball. If you are tweeting back and forth somebody about the game of basketball, if you are doing that on threads, if you're just commenting on Instagram, looking at the comment, you will not have a true talk about the game of basketball. It just can't happen in that format. You need to talk things through. You need to peel the onion. You need to get feedback from people. And most of all, you need to explain the experiences you've seen. And you need to go back to that core, which is the love of the game. If you have true love of the game, you wouldn't be criticizing everybody left and right. If you are criticizing everybody left and right, that says something about your lifestyle. It doesn't say anything about the game. It talks about your attitude. Generally, you are irritated about something that has nothing to do with basketball, probably, unless you got in an altercation in the game and you're pissed off at that one guy. Once you're in that negative state of wanting to fight and wanting to be in an argument and wanting to win arguments and complaining and criticizing left and right and finding blame, you've lost your love for the game. So that's what we do here at Let's Go Warriors. I'm here to always remind you to love the game. That's most important. And you can't do that when you're throwing people under the bus left and right.